Okie dokie. It says that I am streaming. All right, awesome. Yay! Okay, cool. I started this. Just, let's see. And let me publish this so that people know. Oh, patrons only. And starting 3, Put my tag on there. This is going to be really fun for the VOD with you guys seeing me taking all of these steps after the fact to get this thing up and running. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and send this link out into the patron world, and we'll see what happens. All right, awesome. Cool. All right. The internet can totally see you now. This is my first time trying this out using OBS instead of just like doing a Google Hangout on my laptop. So that's cool. All right, I'm going to see. Oh, okay, people are starting to show up now. Yay! Hello, welcome. I know I literally just posted this on Patreon, so it's going to take a little minute. I'm going to also have to take a look at the thread that I created yesterday. We're technically early. I just was anxious about trying this out for the first time instead of just doing a Google Hangout. So that's cool. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to see. People are probably, well, it's 3 p.m. now, so I feel like people are going to start showing up shortly here to talk about stuff. Let me just make sure that this link on the actual thing works. Nope, that's not it. All right, let's try this. Well, I guess technically, though, that's because it's in my thing. So, hold on. Hold on. There's got to be a way to share this. Okay. View on watch page. Okay, never mind. Let me try this. That is not it. Okay, hold on. How do I... Let me see. I'm definitely able to stream. I just don't know why this isn't showing up. Oh, here we go. This says it's live. Okay. Get a shareable link. Copy to clipboard. Okay. Let's try this. Let's try this. Aha. There we go. Boom. Okay, I think this is going to work now. Wait, let me edit this. Haha. There we go. Now save. Much better. No, darn it. It totally says that I'm live. I don't know what is going on. Oh, yeah, it's working. Yay, there we go. Okay, cool. I was like, I had a stream all set up, and then for whatever reason, it was only giving me this like weird like my name / live link, but the new one that I posted clearly does actually go to where we want it to be. So great. That is very good news. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I decided to get kind of fancy and, try using OBS instead of just doing a Google Hangout. And, there were a couple other, to be fair, I didn't entirely remember exactly how to do the Google Hangout anyway. So using OBS was like just as much of a sort of learning curve anyway. So, those of you that are already in the chat, if you want to share the link that you used in the Discord, that would be great just to make sure that people can get it there. I do also have the Discord up myself because I'm going to answer some questions that people left in there. I see, Robert Adams, that you are typing. Thank you so much. That way we can help people find the correct link, though I assume that you guys got your link from Patreon, which is a good thing. So there we go. Awesome. All right. We'll let people, have a couple more minutes to join here. We only got a few of us here at the moment, but thank you guys for hopping in here and joining me. This is great. All right. Yay. More people are showing up. Huzzah. We had a pretty good little crew last time. I know 3 o'clock is kind of a weird, 3 o'clock my time. I don't know what all of your times are. I am, it's 3-ish here, a little after 3, which is a weird time. Yes, Adam, I am heading to Houston tomorrow at 1:30 my time. That's when myself and a lot of the crew are flying out. No porgs this time. No, I got a new computer, so I have a desktop now that I set up downstairs, and I really love it. So instead of, porgs and stuff, you can see like my cat tree and stuff behind me. I also went and grabbed this microphone today from my friend's house where I had left it, because that's where we have like all of our podcasting equipment, and totally forgot to get a microphone stand. So now I'm just holding this microphone. Hi, Pete Rich. Welcome. Robert, am I planning on going to the fan meetup? I don't know. Oh, you're welcome, JTH, for the plug. That's no problem at all. I really, you're in one of the promos where they like show fans having their name read as a patron, and it's you reacting to having your name read, and it's really lovely. Hi, Kevin. Welcome to the Patreon AMA. Thanks for stopping in to say hello. Kevin is probably working on something. In real life, he's a reality show editor, if you don't know. He's very, very good at what he does, and he's very, very good at the Schmoedown as well. But Robert, to your question about the fan meetup, I don't know. Normally, we try to, and other people who've been to live events can vouch for this. There's a lot of sort of, very formal process kind of stuff that happens at the live events in terms of, getting people together to do photos or whatnot. But then also the competitors tend to kind of hang around, and you can sort of wait out in the lobby, and you usually will run into some people, Schmoedown personalities from all corners of the movie trivia Schmoedown job verse. Is that what Kevin, you're working on Real Housewives right now? He's busy preparing in the dungeon. Yeah. Bye, Kevin. Thanks for stopping in to say hello. All right, here we go. So Christian Hestus asks, hi, Emma. Big fan from Norway here. My question is, what's your favorite Schmoedown match you didn't play in or manage any of the players? Whew, wow. I mean, there's been a lot of very, very good ones. I mean, okay, I think that one of the big ones, obviously, was when Ken Knapsack and Sam Witwer had that Iron Man Star Wars match. That was crazy. I remember just like thinking at one point, it was so good too, because like Ken was behind for a long time, because I'm pretty sure that Sam has a photographic memory. And so like you'll notice when he goes to answer questions, he'll normally like pause, and he kind of like looks up as if he's trying to see it in his mind and then gives the answer, but that doesn't work really well in the speed round. So when they moved into a speed round, Ken suddenly caught up, and it was very, very dramatic. That was a really great one. I also really loved the live event when Mara won the Inner Geekdom belt from Jason Inman, because number one, Mara's a great player, and number two, it was cool to see she was the first woman, to get a belt on her own, not, with a teammate. Actually, I'm trying to remember sequence of events. I think Clark and Rachel had already gotten the team belts. Everything kind of blurs together eventually. So yeah, those are just a couple thoughts I have right off the top of my head. So yeah, very good question though. Let's see. Let me look at this Patreon post and see what other questions people had left ahead of time. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I've had so many recent posts on the Patreon, because we're ramping up for this Houston event, and there's a lot of reminders and things that I'll post. So I'm like, oh, when did I post the AMA? There it is. Awesome. Okay. I'll also check out the Discord as well. So let's see. Okay. Robert McNeil asks, what is the process for the match, from deciding who will play to getting them there to doing the match to the promo and anything else? Also, is there time that you have so many weird storylines in the air that you have to make sure you know which order things will go out, so you know what you can and can't say? Yes to question 2. Yeah, we have kind of a whole spreadsheet of when things are going to go out. A lot of the story definitely lives in Christian's head, and he tends to be there supervising the scenes as we get them set up. But a lot of us are pretty good just kind of doing scenes on our own. So it's like, Christian will come and he'll get stuff set up, and like Cam and RB3 will be on the cameras, and it'll be, say, Grace and me in a scene, and Christian just kind of give us an overview. He'll usually stay for the first take, and then we do it again. And then every time before we do a post interview, we always go back to, okay, what has aired, what is already public knowledge, because the way that we're filming the Schmoedown now is a lot more like the way that a TV show is filmed. We film everything way in advance and out of order. So that's what we're kind of dealing with right now. So there is definitely a lot of us having to go, okay, let's take a breath here and figure it out. As far as the process for deciding who's going to play, that all kind of depends on people's records, if they're new in the league, but they came from the fan leagues or something like that. There's all that kind of stuff is kind of taken into consideration. People drive themselves to the studio or walk there if they live really close. We tend to what we do is we film promos first. Those are done in front of a green screen. Sometimes if a competitor is doing like a singles match and they're into the Collider studio earlier that week, they'll just film their promo in advance. So on the day of, they can just kind of show up and play, especially because a lot of the time people wear different outfits in their promos. They wear kind of just their regular street clothes, and then they'll do costumes and things for their entrance for the match. So sometimes they'll do that day before, but mostly or sometime in the week before. But normally you film promos before. If anybody's there early and we can grab them for a promo, we'll do that. And then we film the match. We film everything that happens at the desk first. So we film like whoever's calling the match. Like we'll close out the match, and then we'll take a pause, then we'll go, and now we're back from the interviews, and we finish filming it that way, and then we cut over. We don't cut over. Then we film the interviews later, and then we cut them in to the middle of those two closing segments. So hopefully that more or less answers the question that you wanted to know. Awesome. Let's see in the chat here. Oh, Corey Quinto. This was also in the in the Patreon thread as well, said, who is competing in the Harry Potter match as one of the players? I'm actually not competing in the Harry Potter match because I wrote a lot of the questions for the Harry Potter match, and I also call the Harry Potter match so that things don't get mispronounced, because dear sweet Mark Ellis, but Harry Potter, he's seen the movies, but it's not necessarily his strongest suit. So I'm calling that match with Mark. The competitors are Kevin Smets, Kim Horcher, who, if any of you guys watch Jedi Council or Movie Talk on Collider, you might have seen her on those a couple of times. We also have John Roca, who you guys were asking for. We already filmed it. I'm really excited for you guys to see the Harry Potter match. I think it was really fun and went really well. And then the other competitor is Aaron Zeck, who is the voice of Blake on the show Ruby on Rooster Teeth, who's a professional friend of mine. It's funny, we knew each other like professionally, but we'd never met in real life until she came to do the Harry Potter match. And when I posted something about, hey, who really loves Harry Potter that I'm friends with in real life and, wants to maybe come do a thing, she was the first person to respond. She like rescheduled something so she could do it. So yeah, it's a really fun match. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Let's see. If Time Machine win their first match, will Time Machine / Crimson Fury be up next for both? I think that is correct. That makes sense. So Brian, in regards to Rachel not playing in the Harry Potter match, it had to do with some of the other stuff that we were filming that day. It didn't really work for her schedule wise. And it was something that people had been asking for that we really wanted to do. I think it went really well. So we may do another one sometime down the line. But yeah, Rachel and I wrote most of the questions for the Potter match along with Janine. So it was a really great team of people we had working on it. And I think it turned out really well. So yeah. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll up here and see if there's anything I missed that's super relevant when I was going through that other question from the thread. Okay, nope. All right, let me take a look at the AMA channel on Discord here. And there's nothing new in that channel, so I'm gonna go back to the Patreon thread. Florian Aman, apologies to anybody whose names I am mispronouncing, says, how is it to be commissioner, and do you like it more than being a manager? How much do you miss the Fife Club? It's definitely different. I don't know if I like it more or less. It's a completely different job. It's cool to be commissioner from the point of view of, having a lot of clout within the league. It also felt like it was kind of the right thing to do, winning the Commissioner Bowl. And then when Christian and Brianne asked me, hey, do you want to take over the Patreon? Those two kind of things just really seem to go hand in hand, because then I just have like a hand on the pulse of the whole Schmoedown community. So, but I definitely do miss managing the Fife Club. It's weird for me to be in a position where I'm trying to be unbiased, because obviously I care a lot about all of the competitors who I used to manage, Mark Andreyko, Clark, and Rachel. And, to see them taking each other on in this title defense for the team belts is, it's a little... I'm trying to think of the right word to describe exactly what it is that I feel in regards to that. So, yeah. All right. Robert Adams asks, serious behind the scenes question. Do Late to the Party, Tim, and Chance all ride in the same car when coming to the studio? Well, Late to the Party and friends live in Arizona, so they drive out here all together, certainly. So yeah, actually it was pretty funny with the Late to the Party match. So obviously all of the stuff surrounding, Stacy's partner was kept very, very hush hush. And I was talking with Robert and Vanessa about it, and they're like, we thought it was like kind of weird that Tim and Ashley were, it's normal that for them to come along, like they usually all travel together, but they were like, we kind of had a suspicion, but didn't know for sure. So there's that story. What exhibition match is coming up on Patreon are you excited to see? So Corey, we just filmed, we filmed Harry Potter one, which I had a big hand in creating, which was really fun for me. And I'm really excited for you guys to see that. We did a Star Trek match that is insane. It's so good. We've got an all Disney and Pixar animated features match. We've got a new releases match also coming up. So... And then what did I miss? Oh, yeah. And then Tom and Christian duke it out for the honor to be the Rocky champion. There's no belt or anything, but they definitely do have a little throwdown there. Robert, yes, we do have Jason Inman in the Star Trek match. It's a really great match. Hector Navarro and Rachel Cushing actually called that match. And Rachel helped write some of the questions for that one as well. So, yeah, it was putting together all of these exhibition matches was really, really fun because it allowed people a chance to explore a realm of Schmoedown that is of their particular interest, or I should say, I guess, of fictional properties, and write questions for the Schmoedown that really played to their own interests and the strengths of different competitors. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. TMP Tunes asks, which rookies do you think will grab gold? Well, I think that Kevin Smets, man, he looks good out there. He and I know he studies really hard too. He really wants this and he works really hard at it. So I would say that there's a very good chance rather that he will possibly get a belt this year, but who knows? I mean, the first time you go into one of those title matches, it's kind of a different game. And then I do think also that, both Chance Ellison and Paul Oyama are obviously incredibly good. They're young. They have a lot of time on their hands to sit and watch movies and study, which is something that I don't have. Okay. Will McLean asks who you got in the matches on Saturday. Well, okay. Listen. So obviously, Double Toasted has got kind of the home team advantage, but Roka and Merle are great competitors, and they've done a lot of live matches before. I think that Double Toasted is going to play great. I think that they're going to be a huge success with the crowd, but I think that the Founding Fathers will edge them out by just this much. As far as the team action civil war that's about to happen, I mean, I don't know how simply based on his record you don't bet on Bateman, but you know what? When it matters, guy kind of shows up to play. So I don't know. I really think that title match, or the main event match rather, is kind of anybody's ball game. Yeah, if you guys don't know, there is a fan league of fans who are patrons of the movie Trivia Schmoedown who are in the Discord. So yeah, you can talk to DJ Snacks on Discord and he can get you guys set up there if any of you guys want to play. So yeah. Let's see. I'm going to look at the Patreon thread again. Let's see. Jack Gibbons asks, is there any update on the possibility of replica belts? I actually would like to talk to all of you guys about this. Because is that something that you guys are interested in? Like, are you guys interested in replica belts, knowing that they would be not cheap by any stretch of the imagination? I'm just kind of curious from you guys to know what you all think. I think we'd sort of tossed around the ideas of us potentially doing something where maybe we made like enamel pins or something of the belts that we have now. So I want, belts. Let's see. Brian says not interested in replica belts. My feeling about the replica belts is that it's something that we might give a whirl to down the line. It's not necessarily a top priority. It's just an idea that we put out there. You know, the new belts we have look really great. And I think, you know, Christian was really, really excited to get them. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. But I kind of thought like we could do like merch of the belts rather than replicas of the belts themselves. So yeah. Yes. Yeah, I agree, Andrew Kelk. Andrew Kelk says, I think replica belts would be amazing, but I have a feeling even those who state interest might be put off by the cost, unfortunately. Yeah, totally. Richard says a choker that looks like a belt would be a nice accessory. We could do like rings or earrings. Yeah. Yeah, that's what okay, cool. I'm glad that you guys like my enamel pins idea. I just like enamel pins. So that was kind of why I thought that was a possibility that we could look into. Let's see. I answered Leo Logan's question about the Harry Potter match. People knew about Roka and Kim, and I said Smets and Aaron as well. Hardest match or competitor to schedule? Well, I mean, you know, we eventually sort of had to give up on being able to schedule Sam Witwer for Star Wars stuff. That's why he ended up having to basically just abdicate the belt. Yeah, and then like Alex, who's the Star Wars champion, he lives in Atlanta. So anytime somebody is an out-of-towner, it's very difficult to schedule, or like somebody who is booked on a job that takes them in and out of town, that can be really challenging as well. So Nerd Chronic, how did Kim and Aaron, her name is spelled Arryn, I think. How did they get involved in the Harry Potter match? Well, Christian sent out an email to everybody basically saying, hey, on this day, we're going to tape all these exhibition matches. Here's what they are. Who wants to do it? And Kim wrote back saying, because she's on like our email list of people, wrote back saying, hey, I'd be down to participate in a Harry Potter match. So we asked her. And then I made a post on my Twitter just to see who I know in real life was big Harry Potter fans and might be interested. And yeah, Aaron Zek was the first person to reach out to me. So I was like, yo, you want to do this? And she said, yup, I do. She has a Harry Potter tattoo. So she was ready. My mic is glowing. I don't know. I brought down my softbox light to try to put more light on my face. Maybe it's a little too intense. Andy, I talked to Erica Ishii, you're talking about, and there were a few people, Erica Ishii, Trisha Hirschberger, both were interested, but they weren't available on the day that we were taping. So again, you know, there was definitely a lot of interest in the Potter match. There was a lot of interest on your part, on the part of Schmoedown fans. It was the #1 voted exhibition match. So I think it's something that we might consider doing again. So that should be fun if we do. But I really think that it went super well, and that I'm happy with how it came together. Kyle Harlow, what about former champions getting a ring for each time they become champion? I mean, you know, that we could make that a Patreon goal. We set a goal of like, hey, if we bring in 50 grand per month, then we'll make championship rings that everybody gets to keep, even though they have to give up their belts. Corey Quinto, who else is in the Star Trek match? Let's see. It is Jason Inman. It is Ethan Irwin. It is, oh my gosh, we just filmed this and I already cannot remember who participated. Inman, Irwin, Kevin Smets, and who else? Oh, Whitney Seibold. Yeah, it was a really good match. It was very good. Dan Merle was not available because we filmed it this past weekend during Malton Fest, so there were a bunch of people that couldn't do it because they were already involved with stuff for that. No, Robert Meyer Burnett did not play in the Star Trek match. He, I think, also was not available. Yep, but we just kind of decided that in terms of our filming schedule, it was better for us to knock it out as many as we could in one day, and it just so happened that May 11th was the day that we were able to do it, so we just filmed it right then and there. Yep. Yeah, so it was Ethan, Whitney, Jason Inman, and Kevin Smets. So, yeah, it was a good match. It was very good. I think maybe at one point Robert Meyer Burnett was playing, but then he couldn't. So that is that. And don't forget, guys, in addition to putting things in the chat here, you can also put things in the AMA channel on the Discord, which I know a lot of you are part of, that are in the chat here, our most active Schmoedown patrons. Let's see. Yeah, that's the thing, guys, is, you know, you're going to see these exhibition matches, and I'm sure that there's going to be people who you think, oh man, why isn't so-and-so playing? Well, we had a date that we were scheduling the matches for. We could only have 4 people in each match. So it's just the way the cookie crumbles. You know, never say never us doing some of these matches again. But ultimately, we had to do what was best for the show, and that was to get these things done, not to wait for competitors to be available. Yeah. Rob Mack, any word on a TV league or just one-off exhibition match? It's not really being discussed too much at this point. It's possible that's something that might happen down the line, certainly as an exhibition match. But as of right now, you know, we have a lot of, we film a lot of matches as it is, just between the singles, the teams, and the Intergeekdom, and Star Wars, which is kind of Intergeekdom adjacent leagues. You know, we're a small crew, ultimately. So yeah. Let's see. Darth EC says, Emma, who you got between Crusher, KO, and Smasher? They got to be the top 3 right now. Is Smets really that intense in real life? Well, I'll answer that one for sure. Kevin Smets in real life is super freaking nice. Yeah, that's something that I've revealed in a few of these AMAs, like Andrew Guy being the least like his Schmoedown character. He's such a nice person in real life. Yeah, he's lovely. And then, gosh, between the 3 of them, you know, they're all so evenly matched, quite honestly, that it truly comes down to the game. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much knowledge you have, there is a game element of the Schmoedown, and that is the randomness of it. You just might end up getting more questions in a category that you're not as strong in, or something that for whatever reason just didn't stick in your brain. So it's going to come down to luck of the draw. I think if the three of them were to face off, it really, truly would be anybody's game. Yeah, they're great. Let's see. As teams commissioner, how will the team tournament work this year? Haven't really worked out all the details on that just yet, but everyone will be playing with their partners. Okay? No more of this corruption nonsense and anarchy. This is a real team tournament. Hopefully. Let's see. Jenny Lawson, any chance of a romantic comedy exhibition match in the future? I would love that. That'd be super duper fun. Yeah, I mean, again, we just kind of picked the ones that people people voted for, or seemed to express the most interest in, that all kind of fell into these neat little categories. So it's like Star Trek and Harry Potter and Disney animated films. So, but no, I wouldn't say that romantic comedy is off the table. I would certainly like to do that at some point in the future. Let's see. Who you got in the big title match against Shire Wolves versus Odd Couple, since it's a reunion of the Fife Club? I mean, I know from experience that all of the competitors who are competing in that are extremely good. So I think that once again, when you have people that are really at the top of their game like that, a lot of that sort of game factor of the Schmoedown ends up factoring in. So we'll see. It's very hard for me to say. Of course, I always will root for the Shire Wolves. They were my team. But, I also know that Mark Andreyko really wants and deserves a belt. So it really could go either way. Let's see. Corey Quinto, can we have one more Iron Man match? Just like a general movie trivia Iron Man match? Or do you want it in something specifically? I don't know. Let's see. Ashley Iaconetti said that she might compete in a rom-com match. Andy Schick said, yeah, I mean, in general, that is something that we are finding to be very true, is that whenever we reach out to people who are like on our sort of roster of contacts of people to potentially be talent, whenever we reach out about exhibition matches where it's in something that is specifically appealing to them and that they have a lot of knowledge in, people are more interested in participating in those matches than they necessarily are in regular general movie trivia kind of matches, because at the end of the day, you want to look good. You know what I mean? And that's the thing is I don't, this could be controversial, but especially women who potentially want to come play, they're much more likely to say yes to an exhibition match where it is a field that they are strong in, because we're subject to so much criticism. Obviously not from you guys. Our Patreon community is amazing. And that's another thing about people feeling better about doing exhibition matches, is that is just for our Patreon community. And the patrons are really super nice and super encouraging, and they understand that it's hard to get up there. Even if you have a lot of knowledge of something, it is very different to get up there under the lights and try to answer questions about it. Your brain just goes totally blank. I have had it happen to me every single time that I've ever played. So again, you want to put your best foot forward. So that's why, you'll see a lot of new talent in the exhibition matches, because it's a great way for us to bring some new faces into the Schmoedown and get them interested in maybe getting more involved. So that's my little rant. And Richard Begg, I would also love a musicals exhibition match, because my background's musical theater. So I know a lot of useless things about musicals. Oh, yeah. Nerd Chronic was there in the audience, and Kim and Aaron both played really great in the Harry Potter match. JTH's Sabina Graves shown interest in playing in Inner Geekdom. I don't know. Yeah, she's super great. I love Sabina. I've known her for years. I met her back when I was doing the Star Wars Rebels after show at AfterBuzz, and she was covering Star Wars Rebels for Jenna Bush's site, Legion of Leia, and we needed a fill-in, and so I reached out to Sabina, and she came on the show, and she was freaking great. So yeah, Sabina is an excellent competitor, and I super hope that she will play in the Inner Geekdom League sometime. I think that she would do really well. Let's see. Will there be another Inner Geekdom tournament? Brian Nussbaum asks. Hopefully, yeah. I would like to do another Inner Geekdom tournament. Again, it's a nice place for people who are more particularly interested in that kind of sphere of things, though. Also, it's interesting though, because I think that a lot of people now, with Inner Geekdom, we've done so many Inner Geekdom matches that we almost would be better off waiting until a bunch of new movies came out so that we could have some more of those sort of base level questions, because the way it is right now, since there have been so many Inner Geekdom questions asked, they're kind of hard. I'm not purposely skipping the questions about the match with Chance, Robert. It's just that we already filmed it. So I don't really, I can't tell you I don't want to play in it. But I did. So there you go. That's how I feel about it. Let's see. Tony held, does anime deserve a spot in Inner Geekdom? I don't know. Anime is a broad category because anime is a medium. It's not a genre. So I think that you could include questions about anime films in Inner Geekdom, but it's the same thing as if you spin animated. It's okay, well, animated, again, animation's a medium, it's not a genre. But do I think that you could ask questions in mixed bag from films like any of the Studio Ghibli films or Akira or the OG Ghost in the Shell? Totally. Absolutely. The My Hero Academia movie, which was released theatrically, yes, should definitely be an Inner Geekdom. Yeah. And that's and Nerd Chronic, I think, to your point about an anime exhibition match, is that we could definitely do an anime exhibition match, and it's super easy to come up with categories because you can do it by film studio, or honestly, you can just put the same genre slices on the wheel that we have in the regular Schmoedown, and you can cover anything that you might find in the anime realm there. So, yep, there is that. Jumping back up here, Andrew Kelk, any memorable cutscenes or moments you recall that have been filmed but for whatever reason did not end up airing? No, most of the stuff that we film ends up on the air. There was one that we did that if you watched the live stream, you saw the original version of it. This was when we were doing the whole setup of, okay, Andrew, Guy, and Ben, because Andrew's, banned from singles, so he can't play Ben one-on-one, but now, of course, he can in Houston. But back in the day, it was that Andrew couldn't play Ben in singles because he was banned, and then we ended up having a stipulation where it's okay, well, you guys can play each other in a team match. And so the way it was originally set up was Ben and Andrew were just assigned their partners. So it was okay, and I basically came into the scene and I was all right, so Robert Meyer Burnett, you're going to play with Guy because apparently you guys are a thing now. And then Ben and Tom, you guys are going to, take them on in a team match. And then we ended up realizing that didn't really work with the kind of bait and switch we were trying to do. So we ended up filming the real version, another version of that scene, which is the one that ultimately ended up on the internet. Though the original version did air during a live stream, but that was not canon, as Christian posted about. But yeah, we did the scene later where Guy leans over to me and you can't, see what he said to me. And he basically is about to say, I'm choosing Robert Meyer Burnett to be my manager, but Ben cuts him off. And so you guys know how it went down, but yeah. Yep. It's very, that's it. And yeah, I think it was, Snacks said, could we get a blooper reel from the scenes? I mean, yeah, that footage exists somewhere. So I'll talk to Aaron about maybe grabbing some of that and sending it on, and maybe we could add blooper reels to something that we post on Patreon only. We get some really, really funny stuff in the cutscenes. For me, it's been super fun lately too, because like it's super cool for me to do scenes with people like Grace or with Sam, who are also actors. Not that, which isn't to say that other people on the show are not actors. I mean, Andrew Guy is a great actor. That's why he plays such a great villain character. But yeah, it's fun to like interact with people in that way. Oh, thanks, Pete, for the big thumbs up on the new style of the cutscenes and promos. Yeah, we're so Cameron's been filming a lot of the scenes lately, and he is a big fan of WWE. So he like puts that kind of flair on it, and we usually get it from a few different angles and do a few different takes. So yeah, it's really fun. And Robert, our questions for you were saying that there's so many people who are fantastic at improv. So all of our scenes are improvised. We're basically given, it's not like officially written on paper, but no, it is. Christian tends to write emails with like paragraphs about what he wants to happen, but we're sort of just given a beat sheet and we just put it together. So we don't have a like script in terms of, okay, this is exactly what you're going to say, but we know where the scene is going, and we improvise all of the dialogue for the most part. So yeah. Brian, were there any cut scenes where you had trouble? No, I assume you mean not breaking character. Well, we I'm trying to think. A lot of the time when I film scenes with Tom, it's very hard not to laugh because he just like plays that character so straight-faced, and it's like an extension of who he is in real life, but it's not really him. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. He's always a blast to do scenes with and try to keep a straight face. Let's see. Iron Bat 1993 asks, can we get a Lord of the Rings belt? If Star Wars has one, I feel it would only be fair. But why Lord of the Rings over Harry Potter or specifically Marvel movies? I mean, there's a lot of really big franchises now. I certainly plan to have a Lord of the Rings exhibition match somewhere down the line. But, it's... I think the reason that Star Wars is what it is within the Schmoedown and does have its own league is just because, the people who created the Schmoedown, Christian and Mark, really love Star Wars. So, had somebody else created it that really, really loved Lord of the Rings more than Star Wars, well, that probably would have been its own league as well. But as it stands right now, the only inner geekdom that has its own official league, belt, etc. is Star Wars. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see here. Richard Begg says, I think the pre-credit and post-credit scenes should be compiled together and uploaded for each season's storyline. It would help keep track of the overall story for current and new fans. That's not a bad idea. It's certainly something that I can propose to the people that are in charge of those things. I don't have anything to do with editing the videos. So, but not a bad idea. I mean, the idea behind the scenes and stuff, though, is that it's a whole package. The show, the Schmoedown, isn't just the competition. But I get what you mean about, like, keeping track of where the story's going. So I see both arguments in that case. Let's see. JTH, funniest match you've seen in studio? Well, when the Wildberries decided to be the Mildberries for a little while, that was pretty fun. And the also the Black History Month exhibition match was a total hoot. It was so much fun. Andrew Kelk, Emma, any friends of the show or competitors that you would like to see compete in the Schmoedown in the future. For example, someone you work with on Hyper RPG. Well, I really want not Danny, but Cucumber to play in a Lord of the Rings match. That's my number one desire. But yeah, there's a lot of great I was so excited to get Kim Horcher in a match. I mentioned Erica Ishii played one time, but I'd love to see her come back. Trisha Hirschberger is great. I'd love to have her in the Schmoedown at some point. Let me try to think. I'd love to have either of the Sudarso brothers, Peter or Yoshi, come play. It would be fun to do like a Power Rangers thing with them. Yeah, I mean, there's like tons of great talent out there in the sort of internet sphere who I think would be super great on the Schmoedown. Yeah. And yeah, Danielle, Rob, I agree, is freaking awesome on the desk. Danielle's just an awesome person. I absolutely adore Danielle Radford, and the more Danielle, the better, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm glad that you guys all agree, and I know that she's felt very positively received by the Schmoedown community on the desk. So yeah, she's great. There's that. Yeah. Let me see if there's. Yeah, I agree, Adam 10. You can't have a Lord of the Rings match without Cucumber. We would have to figure out how to get him to write on the whiteboard. I mean, Danny would like have to do that, or he'd have to like say the answer to somebody down there to be his hands, basically. That would be fun. Yeah, and then Brian. Andre Meadows. Yeah, I could talk to Andre and see if he would be interested in doing it. I agree that, once again, it just kind of circles back to it's a lot easier to get people, particularly in our sphere, because so much of, sort of film criticism and just popular culture these days revolves around the more inner geekdom kind of category. So it tends to be easier to get people to come in to do inner geekdom. But yeah, I feel like Andre would possibly be down to do that. He's super fun. He'd crush it in a Power Rangers match too if we ever did that. So there you go. That's when we're going to get other Christian Ruvacabla to participate. The artist formerly known as Cobster. Yep. So let's see. Anything else? We're coming up on our last 10-ish minutes here. Let's see if there's anything in the Patreon for me to write. No, I kind of got all the stuff from the Patreon thread there. So, yeah. Wait, Pete, you didn't go to the live event in Chicago? It was amazing. It was so good. Yeah. Let's see. Robert Adams says, I was curious about a reactor versus reactor match. Oh, like late to the party. Oh, versus real rejects. You mean just like general life reactors? Let's see. Any cities locked in. Okay, so let me do the reactor versus reactor thing first. Yeah, so there's I don't know. Are you saying is like an exhibition match is something that we just kind of like throw in a hat and into the world? Because, the real rejects in theory could still be a team. I don't think they're like ever officially stopped. They're not specifically Schmoedown reactors. I mean, if they are, then that is news to me. I did not know they did reactions to Schmoedown matches, but I love those guys. Yeah, John and Greg can come play in the Schmoedown anytime. They're freaking awesome. Let's see. Andrew Kelk, looking forward to your match with Chance. I know it's filmed, but sending retroactive good luck. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. Let's see. Discord question. Beggar 12. Any cities locked in after August? Nothing is locked in as of right now. If I knew, I would give you hints, but we genuinely don't have anything locked in at this point. And yes, New York is confirmed for the end of August, so there is that. Let's see. Kyle Harlow, how many singles players are there? Would you create a Masters division for the Merles, Rileys, Cushings, etc.? So we, there, in terms of how many singles players are there, it's as many people as we feel are a good fit for the Schmoedown, are a good on-camera presence, perhaps bring a good following or good movie knowledge to the Schmoedown. But there's only 20. We only rank the top 20 essentially. And even then, for the most part, that's based on how many matches people have played. So, you have somebody like Josh McCouga, who for a long time was ranked pretty high simply based on the number of matches that he'd played. So, yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends. I know that I think maybe during another AMA, or it was in the suggestion box on Discord, we did have a conversation about the idea of not a Masters League, but rather doing a minor league for people who are super great on camera, but don't necessarily always perform as well in movie trivia. Like me, I'm bad at movie trivia, you guys. I only do well when I get questions I know, and I have a lot of gaps in my knowledge. But yeah, I don't know. The Schmoedown's at a weird kind of place right now. It's a good weird, but it definitely feels like we're at a crossroads in terms of what direction the show wants to go, in that, now we're coming up against, the people who do really well tend to be people who have a lot of time to study, or their job is that they are a film critic. And most of the people that are in the Schmoedown, that's not really who they are. And they have a lot of other stuff on their plate. So, we'll see what happens with all of that. But in terms of the really positive, though, is the live events are so great. If you guys have never been to a Schmoedown live event, I cannot recommend it enough. It is so much fun. We do have a ticket giveaway going on right now on our over on Twitter. So if you follow at the Schmoedown on Twitter, we have 2 sets of 2 general admission tickets to give away to our live event in Houston. So get on that. You just have to reply with your favorite Schmoedown GIF for a chance to win. Do that by 10 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow morning. So Google what Pacific time is in your time zone. And yeah, we'll be announcing a winner tomorrow, and then I will get those tickets to the people who win them. So, help spread the word, help get it out there, and help, some people get to the Schmoedown that maybe were hesitant to buy tickets for whatever reason. And yeah, the live events are where it's at. I feel like, not that the Schmoedown was ever a bad thing or doing poorly by any stretch of the imagination. It's always been an upward journey with the Schmoedown, which has been just really very cool to be a part of. But I will say that the live events definitely revitalized it and also helped to, I think, strengthen the community around it, because people are able to literally get together with and meet other Schmoedown fans and meet people that work on the show. And yeah, it's an incredible team of people that we have working on this, who work so hard to bring this to all of you guys. And it's really cool for us to be able to get out there and, interact with fans and just kind of, put ourselves out there in the world. And as the show continues to grow, maybe we'll be able to tour internationally. But even though we've got a small crew, it's still more people than if you were flying 2 people out to do a podcast. So, it's definitely a financial commitment on our part to do a tour. So, But you know what? We are doing our darndest to make it work. So thank you to you guys for continuing to support the show and just like helping to spread the word. That is how the show has grown. It's not like there's some big advertiser that's putting us out there. It's all just the people who come and participate in the show and the community members that go out there and spread the word. So yeah, thank you to you guys for making all of that possible, because we wouldn't be going on the road at all if it weren't for the patrons, because the Patreon helps fund our traveling. So that's a really good thing. You're welcome, Robert. I am glad that you enjoy the show. Yeah. So if you guys have any more questions, we've got like 2 minutes. Thank you, Jenny. And I will pass on your word of thanks to everybody else that's working on the Schmoedown. Yeah. So that's what we got. I hope to Richard Begg favorite Death Note episode. The one where they play tennis, obviously. There's a whole dang song about it in the Death Note musical. Well, it's not about tennis, but they definitely play tennis in while they sing a song. Yep, that's what it is. Brian, will there ever be a Schmoedown roast for patrons? Meaning like us roasting each other the way that like Mark Ellis roasted everybody in his opening speech at the awards? Or like we roast you guys? That would be fun. Oh, Robert Adams' brother wants to know my favorite Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is probably Vaporeon, which is the water evolution. Kicking it old school. Love Vaporeon. But there's a lot of Pokemon that I like. But that one just came to mind, especially because I was just playing Pokemon Let's Go, and Vaporeon looks so freaking cute when mine's a girl walks around next to you. All the evolutions are great. Brian says that the roast would be like a roast of competitors, like Tom. We could just do the roast of Tom Dagny now. I feel like we have to do the roast of Mark Ellis, because he's the only one who's gotten to roast any of us so far. Yeah. So that's not a bad idea, though. That could be a fun, like, patrons only thing. When is the awards show this year? It'll be in January next year. Snacks. Yeah, roasting Tom would be too easy, Pete. You're right. That's maybe kind of a low blow there. Just swinging for the minor leagues. Yeah. The awards will be January. We've always done them in January, so yep. I don't know if they'll be at the Comedy Store again, but I'm sure they'll be definitely, though, at a live venue that you guys will be able to buy tickets to and attend, because it's a lot more fun when, again, it's just circling back to what I was saying before, the whole idea of, having these live events and like bringing our fans together in person has really brought this new kind of life and energy to the show, and it feels like it's really expanding and going places, and it's really exciting. So yeah, thank you guys again so much for hopping in on this AMA. We will do another one soon. As I said, the next one we do will definitely be in that 6 o'clock Pacific time hour, because I had a lot of people, almost as many people as responded yes to this time, said that time would be good too for them, or better. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to like sit down and talk with me, and I hope that I'm able to answer as many of your questions as I can, and to be just really open and honest with you guys about stuff that's going on in the Schmoedown. And I really appreciate all of your feedback as well, because we're creating this thing together. We want to thank you guys for helping us create this. Oh, I had this really heartfelt speech with an Andy Schick coming in with the zingers. How about a roast of the King's Landing citizens. Oh boy, too soon, but it did make me laugh. Go listen to the deep cut with John Roca. I was his guest this week talking about Game of Thrones, and we had such a good conversation. There's been a lot of people yelling at each other on the internet. Roca and I had very different opinions on it. And then as we kind of talked stuff out, it kind of turned into we did have a lot of the same opinions. And yeah, it was seriously a really, really good episode. Just a really great discussion about what happened on Game of Thrones on Sunday. So yeah, I mean, this coming Sunday, hopefully we'll get back on time, because apparently there's maybe going to be thunderstorms in Houston on Sunday when we're all supposed to fly back. But we're going to figure it out. But once again, guys, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. You are the reason that we are here. You are the reason that I get to do this for my job, which I really enjoy. And I love getting a chance to connect with you guys. I sometimes feel like I'm super busy and don't get to talk to you as much as I would like to. But, it's nice when we get the opportunity to do things like this. So I'm going to, keep trying my best to do these as regularly as I possibly can. And, anytime you guys think of something that you want to ask me, just leave it in that AMA channel over on the Discord. That's what it's there for. And I'll do my best to check it. The prints for this month for everybody that's at the $15 plus tier are in the mail. So you should start getting them fairly soon. I think I ordered them sometime last week I did. So keep an eye peeled for those. And then if you're at the $50 level, I know you guys just finally got your mailers from last month. And then as soon as we get back from Houston, your mailers for this month will go in the mail. And then, of course, next month you'll get 2 t-shirts. People at the $25 tier are getting the 1 t-shirt. And I think that about covers it. So yeah, thank you guys. I definitely want to get some good barbecue when I am in Texas. So please tweet at me or just message, tag me on Discord somewhere with all the best places to get barbecue at. Because I know that our one goal for Saturday is to go have a good lunch somewhere. And I feel like barbecue is the answer. So thank you once again, everybody. You are all awesome. And I will talk to you all again soon. Bye-bye.